Welcome, welcome, welcome. It must be Tuesday at 5 o'clock because you're in the right place at the right time. This is the Ask Dr. Ron Facebook Live broadcast, and I'm glad you are here to hang out with us for the next hour. We're going to have a fun-filled show, I guarantee. Okay, as the old dude Justin Wilson used to say, when he was cooking up that good food back in the old days. Many of y'all that have heard of him know he used to throw down in the kitchen. Today we got my brother in broadcasting hanging out with me today. I am so excited to have him as always. Mr. Chris Bass is going to be with us. He's back in the green room sipping green tea and waiting for him to come live. So we're going to do our promotion so we can get all of this out of the way and get him onto the air with us. As you all know, I like to, when I go live, I have several shout outs that I have to make. So let's get that going. First of all, I want to give a shout out to all of the healthcare workers all around the world that have been taking care of our loved ones. I tell you, it is, pandemic is getting totally blowing up all over the world, and it's hurting people and killing people, making people sick all over the world. And I always like to give a shout out to the healthcare workers, which is why I am wearing this shirt, my doctor's shirt. I am not a doctor. I am wearing this in solidarity to all of the healthcare workers, okay? And yes, I am a doctor, but I'm not a medical doctor, okay? So yes, let me clear that up before somebody say, oh, he said he ain't no doctor. Yeah, I'm a doctor, but I am a PhD, not a medical doctor, okay? So shout out to all the healthcare workers that are around the world that are doing what they do best, which is help keep us alive. Shout out to them. I appreciate you. Thank you. Can't thank you enough. Keep up the great work. Also, I want to give a shout out to all of the pastors, all of our spiritual leaders that are on the front line, that are there keeping us spiritually motivated and keeping us uplifted, because we need that as well. You know, without a spiritual leader, sometimes we don't know what God is doing and how he's doing it. But with a spiritual leader, we can easily keep up with what God is doing at this time and in this season. And I definitely want to give a special shout out to my spiritual leader, Dr. Lloyd Michael Hunt. If you're not familiar with Dr. Hunt, you know, scroll down and you will see some of his messages. You can friend him, so when he goes live, you will be able to keep up with what's going on with Dr. Hunt. And I tell you, he has his finger on the pulse of what's happening in the world, and you definitely don't want to miss out on what he's talking about, okay? So definitely tune in to Dr. Lloyd Michael Hunt. And pray for your leaders. If you have spiritual leaders, please pray for them. They need prayer too. You know, they have a hard job, okay? And you want to definitely keep them lifted up in prayer, okay? So definitely want to do that. All right. Also, people that have lost loved ones, we just want to let you know that we are praying a special prayer for you. You know, it's very difficult during this time when loved ones have passed away and you can't say goodbye the way you would like to. And I understand it's very difficult not to be able to do the big celebration like we have accustomed to do when we before the pandemic. But I encourage you to just keep them alive in your heart. The Corona update, as reported by CNN and Johns Hopkins University, 15,089 people have been tested positive with corona. Right now, we're at the number of 285,643 that have died from corona. Those are people that have died in the United States from corona. Now, all this is being reported by CNN, and I tell you, it's very discouraging that the numbers are not, tapering off, that are not stabilizing off, because, you would think by now we've been dealing with this for at least a year. Okay, some people say it only since February. No, we've been dealing with this since a year. Okay, people have been getting sick, and nobody knew what type of illness it was way back in December of last year. So I tell you, by now people should be willing to protect themselves and protect their families, in a time like this, so that we don't have to watch our loved ones suffer, okay? Because it is definitely something to sit there and watch people, suffer, okay? So let's just try to do better by keeping ourselves protected and, safe during this time. And I know people were, during the holiday season, oh my God, we got to go and eat turkey at grandma's house. Well, now they're coming in with the numbers from that, and it's not good. So you all need to take this thing a little bit more seriously and try and protect yourselves. All right, so enough ranting and raving about that. I'm sure every channel you go to, you hear about the corona. Right now, we're going to go over to my website. And the first thing you're going to hear is my theme song, and then we're going to talk about my advertisers. And so stand by. Here we go.
Ask Dr. Ron, ask Dr. Ron. Whatever you're feeling, he will give you healing, he'll inform you. Ask Dr. Ron, ask Dr. Ron. Entertaining news, political issues, local and globally.
All right, I want to invite you to go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, you're going to find a lot of useful information. You'll see some things about me, my bio, all of the information about Ask Dr. Ron. And then you're going to get to a place where you'll see my advertisers. And I want you to take a look at these advertisers very closely. We have National Block Club University. Mr. Dr.Ron Smith has been in the community all across the country, working block by block to help make your community safe for children, for your seniors, I should say us seniors, and all of the families that live in the community, block by block. He has a program, he has a plan. He's been doing this for over 20 years. Click on this banner, it'll take you over to his website, and you can reach out to Mr. Dr.Ron Smith and his organization and ask them, what can I do? What can I do to help my neighborhood, to help my block be safer than what it is? And he has a plan that has been successfully working. So click on the banner, it'll take you right over to the website. Next we have Chief Nomo's Oasis. On the south side of Chicago, Chief Nomo has been bringing in from the west coast of Africa all types of products, goods, and from the West Coast. He's been bringing in oil, he's been bringing in moringa seed, he's been bringing in clothes, and Chief Nomo also does consultations. Chief Nomo also offers up an opportunity for you to get alkaline water. He makes alkaline water or bottles alkaline water right there in his facility, and you can pick up alkaline water. You can click on the banner. It'll take you over to his website. You'll get a chance to see Chief Nomo. I don't know if he wanted me to tell y'all this or not, but I talked to him last week, and he is in Ghana now. He's been there, and he's still prospering with his store here in the Chicagoland area. So Chief Nomo is still working to make sure that we have here in Chicago what we need to survive the pandemic. So reach out to Chief Nomo, click on the banner. It'll take you right over to his website. You can set up a consultation with him. He will do a video consultation and can help you. He can help you survive what's going on out here in these streets, okay? Also, RRJ Webb. Now, RRJ Webb has been with me over 20 years, okay? Over 20 years. And if you have a concept or an idea that you would like to bring to the World Wide Web, click on the banner, go over to his website, give him a call, set up an appointment. He will help you host. He will do maintenance. He'll help you fix your broken website. Anything dealing with websites, Mr. Ralph Jenkins can help you solve your problems, okay? So click on the link. It'll take you right over to the banner, over to his website, and you will be able to definitely talk to him about getting whatever you want to do, bringing it to life on the World Wide Web. We also have Prince Hunter. Now, Prince Hunter is giving up free lessons. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Free lessons. He can help you understand and navigate through financial trading. Okay, whether it be stock market, forex market, any type of financial education that you would like to have, you can start out by getting your free lessons. Okay, call up, not call up, but go to his website and then call him up and say you want to schedule your free lesson. Okay, that's Prince Hunter Financial Group. And be sure and tell him that you heard about it right here on the Ask Dr. Ron show. And he might even throw in 2 free lessons, okay? So check out the Prince Hunter Financial Group and prepare yourself to learn the skills to be able to do like the big dogs do, as they say, you know, with financial education, okay? Learning how to trade. And last but not least, my brother Sam, Pour It Again Sam. He brings in some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world. I've been knowing Sam for over 10 years, and I tell you, when I first started working with Sam as an advertiser, I did not know much about wine. But now, I am, oh my God, I have been totally educated and understand the fine wines from all over the world. And Sam brings it in right here to the Chicagoland area. And I tell you, if you're interested in fine wines and cognacs and spirits, give him a call. Click on the tab, go to his website, set up a tasting. He is still doing tastings. You know, alcohol businesses are considered essential businesses. So you might as well get you something good during this holiday season. I'm looking forward to Sam telling me what the holiday specials are going to be, what treats he's going to be getting in from all over the world. I'm looking forward to bringing him on the show so he can tell us all what he's got going on. So definitely click on the banner, go over to Pour It Again Sam, and I tell you, you will not find anything anywhere else in the country better than what Sam has, okay? So you can't get it in a regular store. You can only get it directly from Sam, okay? So those are all of my advertisers. I also want to give a shout out to Chicago Communicator News Media. They are an affiliate of the Ask Dr. Ron show. We definitely go on their network from time to time, and I am so excited, to be a part of the Chicago Communicator News Media. While you're on my website, I would encourage everyone to fill out the contact card so we can keep you up to date on when we're live and doing things. Check out the Cash Crowdfund tab. There's some information there. If you are interested in learning how to make some money, get in contact with me. We also have a YouTube channel. Please go over to the YouTube channel. Subscribe when you're over there. Support our vendors. And, of course, like and share everything that we're doing over here. So now we're at that part of the show where I get to bring on my brother in broadcasting. And I'm so excited, to bring him onto the show today. Mr. Chris Bass, my brother in broadcasting. Welcome to the show, sir.
Boom, shakalaka. How you doing, Dr. Ron?
I am doing fine, sir. I'm so excited that you took time to come out and hang out with us today, man. I know that, just like everybody else, you're busy. You're doing productions, and man, I know you're just busy, and I'm just glad that I got a chance to bring you on board with us today, because you produce a show every Wednesday and Friday and Thursday. Man, you just getting it in, ain't you?
Well, you try to stay busy and you do your thing. And I think that all of us that are creative people, when we're busy, is what we galvanize in our lives. This is what we do, is who we are, and we like to create. So when we create our things, it's a form of us. It's our DNA. It's what we do. And I think that especially nowadays, with the country and the nation being what it is, I think all of us have found a way to be creative in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I remember when this pandemic first started, the early part of the year, you and I were having a conversation, and you were like, man, all these people that are jumping into our venue, the World Wide Web, the internet, social media broadcasting. And you're like, well, what's going to happen? Because the market's going to be, overwhelmed with all of these folks. And I remember saying to you at that time, I said, look, man, when the world opens back up, these people are going to go back out doing what they're doing. They're going to be on Broadway. They're going to be back on television and all these other places that they have been before they're flooded our venues. But we're going to still be here because we were here first.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I think that if anything, I think people start to appreciate the fact of technology being what it is, able to work from home and to get a software and to communicate, to work, whether it's personal or professional. You're able to connect. And I must say that it's kind of a sad commentary to a degree, but it's a give and take. It's a blessing and curse. Since we've been in this pandemic, it's been easier on my end to get guests. Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot. I would say so, only because of the fact that because the luxury of working from home. Some people, before all this happened, may to go to a studio to do something or go over the phone, obviously. But for some reason, there's a different feel from where we are right now. Mm-hmm. Again, working from your home, and usually, guests would, depending on the guest, they don't mind coming on. But I guess the security factor of being at home goes a long way. I really believe that.
Yeah, I agree with you. One of the things about, just inviting people on and being a part of what we do, it has been very positive, in response to getting folks to want to say yes. Yeah, I'll do that, and it's been interesting because, most of the time folks will, they'll say yes, and then sometimes schedule change. I go get a tooth pulled on Thursday or Tuesday, so I can't come. And you'd be like, are they really getting a tooth pulled? If they ain't snaggletooth when I see them, I'm gonna sure talk about them. But it's good. it's good that people are, finding the validity in what we do, and that's what I like about it. People are finding validity in what we do, and that's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it is because your skill set shows what you can accomplish and create. And so when I started to create, for example, CBI, Chris-based interviews, which is a separate program I do on Fridays, which is Baseline. CBI allows me to interview people one-on-one, or if I have more than one guest. But right now it's been one-on-one. And the great thing about that is that the guests really make the show great. They have been really forthcoming since I started last late September. In fact, Lee Michaels, my first guest. And if you start with Lee, you're on a great roll because he's gonna do it in 3D. Gonna talk about your ass and let you know that everything's gonna be all right. Which he was very gracious to come on my show, and we did a good time. Then based upon that, and I've done interviews since then, and people have been very forthcoming and very true and very honest. As a host, as you know, you want the guests to be comfortable. Would you set the table and the atmosphere for that, and then you take it from there. But I've been on, let me knock on wood, I've been on a good roll so far because they've been really fantastic, lights out, and I hope that streak continues because they make the show great.
Yeah, they do. And being a broadcaster myself, it's all about the people. I always like to try and bring information, entertainment, all of the things that people enjoy about tuning in. I try to, make sure that I have a variety. I don't want to be boring, and being able to bring folks that have some information that's relevant at the time, and then every now and then we need a comic relief. Sometimes you gotta get people involved, that are looking to be a part of, what we're doing. You want them to be a part of what we're doing. So, and I'm glad, that like I said, we started this thing, man, way back at Global. Yeah, I call their name. You and I together, being on the forefront of doing this, and it's working for us. I took a hiatus for a while. I went off the air because I wanted to separate myself from Global and create a whole new identity. I mean, the show is still the Ask Dr.Ron show, which will always be me. But I also wanted to separate myself from, Global News at the time. When I left there, I didn't want folks to say, well, okay, come follow me. I'm not the Pied Piper. I'm not taking nobody nowhere, So when I took my hiatus, I went off the air. And then most people were like, no, you got to do this thing. And you were one. You got to get back out there. You just can't keep hiding. Folks looking for you. And I'm like, ain't nobody looking for me. And, and now that I'm back out here, I'm out here, so, and I don't have a problem with that. Shout out to our colleague, Miss Lisa London. I see she just popped in on the show. Gave us a thumbs up. Appreciate it. Thank you, Miss Lisa London. She is also a host of her own broadcast as well. I know that she follows Chris everywhere he go. So Chris, you want to tell folks where they can follow her?
Well, you have to go to Lisa London. You type in that, and you'll see her likeness. She's a host of Lisa London's show Inside the Quiet Storm. And she has shows on many affiliates. So I can't name them all because I'll fall asleep because there's too many of them. But what you can do is go to her page on Facebook, and then she'll like you. And then take it from there. You find out what time she's on in various time zones here and across the pond. She has a couple of shows in London as well.
Yeah. It's funny you should say that, fall asleep, because some of her shows come on so late at night. I was sitting up listening to beautiful music. She be throwing down music from my era, stuff that I understand the words of when they singing, and then all of a sudden I'll be like, oh, wow, damn, I missed the show. I woke up and it was morning.
Yeah, it has an effect sometimes, and it sets the mood and it sets the table for things. Like I said earlier about, creating a platform and a program. And also what's great about the fact that, again, when you're trying to put your show out there, and what she does, for example, because I know her well, the fact that you're able to have people gravitate towards your program, which have these many affiliates. And I didn't mean that as a slant about falling asleep. It's just so many. You're like, do one of those old man nods because there's so many to read off. And again, I, as the broadcaster, appreciate the hard work that she does because, once again, all we could do as hosts and people, once again, who create is to do it and put out there and see if the masses will enjoy it. And that's all we can do. And then if we're able and blessed and fortunate to get a following, then we have to take, should never take that for granted.
Right. I totally agree. Now, all she does is music, right?
Music, that's right.
Yeah, she doesn't do talk at the moment. I say at the moment because she might decide to.
Well, she might. People branch out and do different things and try to, experiment and probably combine some interviews down the road. But right now, it's all music.
Yeah. Lisa says, thanks for trying to hang, Dr. Ron. Yeah, you be in that time zone where you got to be grown to hang up. I got a bedtime, like senior citizens, they get their warm milk and cookies, and then you got to go to bed, Yeah, because after them warm milk put you to sleep, and I'll be like, uh-oh, I missed it again. Doggone it.
Wow,
everything past 12 is suspect. But she is a great, great host. Look at that. Newsflash. Do you see this, Chris? You see the comment she just put up?
No, what she put up? I don't see it right now.
I'll start interviews in 2021. Breaking news. Okay. Breaking news right here. We got it.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah,
yes.
Look, I'm glad to see it, because I always love to, see people venturing out and doing things. I know she was just doing music, and the fact that she's going to start doing interviews, that means she got something to say. That's a beautiful thing.
And as you know, that's a whole different skill set, especially when you are a host that does music-oriented, galvanized programs, and now you bring a new element of interviewing with the musical artist. That's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah, look, you're going to make me sleep late so I can stay up, and hang up later.
Or get some no-dos and you'll be all right.
No.
Okay, I'll try it. All right.
I can't do the no-dos.
Well, you can do something to keep. You can do something to keep up.
Have me doing like this all night long.
Oh no, we don't want no shakes. No, we don't want you to be Shakes McGee. No, we don't want that.
That's that caffeine-related stuff,
Now
I have to get one of them 5 hours. Now that I can hang with.
Okay, then I knew there's something out there you can take.
Take a 5 hour. Man, I can get exactly 5 hours. Okay.
There you go. That's how you do it. 5
hours and 15 minutes. I better be laying down somewhere. Okay.
Wow. Absolutely.
Look, I'm gonna have to get a product endorsement from them eventually because that stuff works. And for me talking about it, they need to be throwing some money my way. But it does work. I'll tell you something else that used to help me out on those long road trips because I used to be on the road quite a bit. If you're really in a crunch, you can get one of those espressos, double shot, okay, from Starbucks. That'll work. That'll help you too, man.
Got it.
Man, so Lisa, I'm gonna have to stock up so I can come hang out with you late at night. There you go. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, we talked about your interview show on Wednesdays, right? You do those
Correct.
Every Wednesday about what time?
4 p.m. Central Time.
4 p.m. Central Time. Okay, that's Wednesdays. And then I'm gonna skip over Thursday for the moment because we're gonna talk about that in the end. But then you do your Free Your Mind Fridays. Yep. So tell us about that, because I know people. You're an old friend to this show, but people might have forgot who the hell you are. I doubt it. But we're gonna keep on acting like you brand new, okay? Just in case we got somebody new just tuning in. So let's talk about Free Your Mind Fridays, because that's always a hot one.
Well, I appreciate that. The thing about, real quick before I tell about the show, you understand about how Dr. Ron operates. Dr. Ron at times reminds me of Ali, this perspective. If you're a fight fan and a fight historian, Ali fought Sonny Liston in the second time they fought. And there was this thing called the Phantom Punch that Ali allegedly had given to Sonny Liston, and Sonny Liston just fell out. So there at times verbally, Dr. Ron would give your ass the phantom punch every now and again. So I'm familiar with it, but that's just how the man operates. So later for him. And let me go into my Friday thing about
No,
baseline.
what punch
So
did I give? Okay, now you got to specify now. What punch did I give?
well, the thing about don't act like I'm brand new or something
No,
like
no,
that.
no, no.
It's
I say you're not
what?
brand new. I say you're not
Okay, all
brand
right.
new.
Okay, then I heard wrong. But
Yeah.
let me reiterate. Just if we're gonna go this route, I don't mind starting it.
Yeah.
Is that see, Dr. Ron likes to start crap sometimes. He's a crap starter. Did you
Everybody
admit
knows
that?
Everybody knows that. Yeah, but
Okay,
no, this
that's
time
great.
I'm innocent. Okay, I was
Ooh
saying.
wee. Okay, all right.
Yeah, right. Mark it on your calendar. I was
Yeah, sure.
saying, and maybe I didn't verbalize it proper enunciation, but I was saying you are a old familiar person to this show. But
Okay, I heard that part.
if there is somebody here that is brand new, I want to make sure that they know all the things about Chris Bates that they need to know.
Okay.
That's why I
All
was
right.
going with that.
I stand corrected. I don't mind being wrong. I stand
no,
corrected.
No, I ain't punching you yet. It's still time.
See, I knew it. See, damn it, I knew it was coming. All right, so as long as we got that out the way.
Free Your Mind Friday. There you go.
Thank you. Yeah, there you go. I'm coming back to that. So
Yeah.
Free Your Mind Friday airs every Friday, same time, 4 p.m. Central, via Facebook Live. All these programs air via Facebook Live and other social media, but right now Facebook Live is the main one. And again, that's pretty much a recap of the week's events, topics, and social issues, and some issues I'll throw in there as well in the mix. And people are able to comment through the comment room and chat, and we interact that way. I was able and fortunate to bring in a staple into the program now every time at 5 o'clock Central Time, same time, obviously. That's Pastor Donovan Price. This young gentleman is on the street helping people with their crisis. You might have seen him on the news a few times, or various news times, helping grieving families going through pain and torture and sickness. And, I applaud the brother tremendously, because that's not an easy thing to do, to go out there and try to bring comfort and spiritual aid to a mother who just lost their son or daughter in a situation like that, or other situations that are similar. And I reached out to him about a month or so ago. I said, look, brother, I knew him before. I met him at UBM, ironically, years before. And he's a different person now. And we got a chance to speak. I said, look, I want to have you on my show if possible. I'll invite you to come on every Friday at 5 o'clock to give us your week update of what you're going through. Because I think right now, especially, we need to hear this. Because when you see him on the news, you might see him as a quick blip. He does not deserve a soundbite. He has a story to tell. And once again, it galvanizes what's going on in our streets on a consistent basis, and how even weather, as we know, won't even affect murder in the streets. We thought once upon a time ago, when it came cold, someone would look forward to the cold on the south side because the numbers would go down. And now talking to him, there have been instances where there have been spikes of it still going up regardless of weather. So you can never escape it, but the numbers are starting to really blend into each other seasonal-wise. And so Pastor Donovan Price is on my show every Friday. I thank him so much for coming on and giving us really what's out there in the street.
Yeah. Well, and it's sad because I know people that are all over the country in different places, they may not be familiar all the time with what's going on the streets of Chicago. They see the national news in their area, and they're like, oh, I ain't never going to Chicago. And it's not like that everywhere. Yes, we have some issues. Yes, we have some problems. Yes, we have lots of concerns. But, like your pastor that comes on and hangs out on your show, they can give you the street level what's going on, okay? And, you can't, I don't even try to explain what's going on, but it's something that, it's a work in progress, and everybody feels like they have a role to play to try and help make things better. And eventually, all I can say is that, we're going to accomplish saving some folks. We ain't going to be able to save everybody, but we ought to be able to accomplish saving some folks from harm's way. And with your pastor friend coming on telling us about what's going on, that should help the process, you know. And people shouldn't be afraid of Chicago. Hell, Al Capone don't live here no more. You know, it was so funny when I used to travel all over the world, and I used to tell people, you know, I'm from Chicago. Now, Al Capone been dead so long. Why is the first thing to come out of their mouth is, oh, where Al Capone is at? Al Capone ain't here no more.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he started a mess, you know, that carries on, you know, because we got, you know, organized crime, you know, and a whole lot of it, okay? You know, but it's just amazing the stigma that still carries on with the name of Chicago. It was so crazy. On the local news here in Chicago, they had a organized crime figure to die from corona on yesterday. I don't know if you caught that, Chris.
No, I might catch that one.
But his brother was No Nose. Okay, when you got a brother named No Nose, yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's mafia.
Yeah, you know. Well, there, you know, and Chuck Gowdy is an expert with letting you know these kind of things. Okay, he was like, none of the law enforcement agencies in the city of Chicago was ever able to bring any of him and his family to justice. Well, Corona issued out justice on yesterday. Now, his brother No-No's been dead for a while, and I can't call his name because I can't think of it at the top of my head, but the incident that Corona has taken this mob boss out, you know, seemed to be the only way he could get got. Okay, now that's crazy. Okay, you know, so now that would be a carryover from Al Capone. Okay, you know, and ain't nobody trying to claim, you know, organized crime when you go visit, you know, some of these places in the world. I know I'm not part of that. Okay, you know, you know, I don't even eat hot dogs. So when they start talking about pizza and hot dogs, you know, they got to, you know, I can help you with the pizza, but the hot dogs I can't help you with, you know. But they always want to know what's going on in Chicago when you go places, you know. And that's always a topic or what they say, a title that hangs over us all across the country, all across the country. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, when you live in a big city, you know, like Chicago, New York, LA, and those type of cities, you know, people want to know. You know, it's a sexy city, it's glamorous, you know, it gets all the news and national headlines and the like, and that's to be expected. So, for example, when I would travel with my family when I was young, come up in the 70s and 80s, so I noticed a shift. So in the 70s, you are correct. If someone asked us or asked me, if I was from Chicago, they would say, "Oh, Al Capone," you know, with the machine gun thing. And by the time the 80s came into play, and I said I was from Chicago, they said House Harold, referring to Mayor Harold Washington.
Right.
Or, oh man, Michael Jordan. So the paradigm shift went from Harold Washington into Michael Jordan or both. So you're right. I mean, you know, gone, and thank Jeebus that I didn't hear anything about Al Capone. You're right. The man's been, you know, taking a dirty nap for years. But then there was a resurgence of connection of the city through the late, great Mayor Harold Washington and Chicago Bulls and NBA star Michael Jordan.
Right. Yeah, well, Michael brought a good name to the city. You know, yeah, he really did. Some people don't like Michael, but because he beat their team out for championships, so they really don't like Michael. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know, some of the places that you go, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's where Michael came from." You know. Yeah, we had a chance if Michael wouldn't have been in the NBA. You know. Well, don't be hating on Michael. Now he deserved everything he got. He earned it, every bit of it. You know.
Thank you.
But
you know, and people, I don't want to cut you. People understand about Chicago when it came to basketball. Chicago has always been, as far as in my heart, a mecca of basketball talent.
Yes.
For a long time, for years. And so before the Bulls got on the map, the Bulls sucked so bad that I remember we were developing a basketball team in my church. And so our coach had taken us to see the Bulls versus the Supersonics. We were up in the nosebleed seats at the old Chicago Stadium.
Okay.
There was nobody there by halftime, we were damn near sitting next to the Bulls bench. We walked down, down from the nosebleed seat. That's how nobody used to go to Bulls games.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how much they've changed. And the thing about the NBA was, before the Bulls got on the map through Michael, DePaul men's basketball ruled in this city for a long time. If you don't know a guy named Mark Aguirre, go Google him. Terry Cummings, go on and on. Yeah. These guys were the stars of Chicago basketball.
Yeah. Now, what was the coach?
Coach Ray Myers.
Ray Myers. And then his son took over for a dynasty too, didn't he, after that?
Right. Yeah, Joey Myers.
Joey
correct.
Myers, yeah. Yep. See, I remember. I remember a little bit,
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah, because we didn't have much to be proud of in all of our sports, really. We
oh my God.
Yeah, look, we hit the one-hit wonder in football with the Super Bowl champion Bears of what, 85?
5, that's right.
Yeah, and then they didn't do it again. And then I think in the 90s or was with the 2000s that they won, the Blackhawks won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then that was huge, But I mean, since you brought up the Bulls, what do you think their chances going forward? I'm shaking my head.
I can't even tell you. I don't even follow the organization or the games anymore. I really don't. I've been disgusted with them for years. I got tired of hearing the crap about we're rebuilding. We're rebuilding going on 30 years. I don't want to hear no more.
For real.
That's it. I'm sorry. Maybe every now and again I might catch and play some games here and there, but I just stopped following them.
Now, I can't ask the question about the Bulls without asking the question about the Bears. What's your opinion about them rascals?
Get everybody out of there. Get everybody. I mean, everybody got to go at this point. It just doesn't make any sense because let's call it for what it is. And that's another team I start watching. It starts from the organization. The organization does not want to win. Why? Because it's money. Now, don't get me wrong. In your contracts, you're given an opportunity to make like prize money, quote unquote, once you hit the playoffs and championship. And then you got to renegotiate contracts, stuff like that. But that's if you want a true dynasty. The Bears, for years, Bulls, Hawks have been cheap-ass organizations for a long time. And never want to pay their players the right kind of money they deserve.
Yeah.
I mean, God forbid, Walter Payton, God rest his soul, man, carried the Bears for years by himself on his back before they got, the Fridge and Jim McMahon and everybody else there. He was by himself.
Yes.
And so it wasn't 2 years later that they were able to conform the team on offense and defense, obviously, to create what you had with Buddy Brown on defense and then take it from there. But traditionally, the team in Chicago has always been cheap.
Yeah.
So going back to the Bulls and the Bears, they never should have drafted Mitch Trubisky. Mitch Trubisky only played college for 1 year in North Carolina. That was it. He was a one and done. Not like he was a talented one and done. He had potential, but look now where he is right now. They need to get rid of everybody and just start all over again.
Yeah, that's true. And I have to totally agree with what you said. They look like they're afraid to win. They look like they're afraid of success. They're not doing now. And for anybody that follows football in the Chicagoland area, Chicago has been famous for their defense. Okay, the Giants of the Midway. Okay, these guys can play some D, but they have always been plagued. Use the word plagued, with the fact that nobody on offense can help carry the weight that the defense is doing. The defense has been doing their job, always. Okay, but then you got to have an offense in order to put some points up. And I can remember leading up to that Super Bowl season in '85, and look how far back I got to go. The offense scored. The defense scored just as many points as the offense did, which led to the Super Bowl team that they had. Those guys, man, look, they was on the field, they would take it away, run it back. Man, them guys wasn't no joke.
Look, man, I've had the honor of interviewing twice my favorite Bears player of all time, Otis Wilson, number 55.
Yeah, Otis is cool. Yeah.
A cool brother, man. Yeah. And I interviewed him. This was the second time. And I just asked him, I said, look, I always thought that in my heart as a fan, something was not right with Mike Ditka. It's something was not, I couldn't put my finger on it, but something wasn't right. So Otis regaled the time when he had an injury and had to go for on IR, injury reserve, and was supposed he missed one Sunday, come back the other Sunday. So the game time, we going to Ditka, getting ready, and Ditka was like, "Well, tell you what, I'm gonna stick with the guy to replace you on this game." And Otis was like, "Well, no, wait a minute. Look, if you do that, it's in my contract. I'm supposed to come back today. If you did, I'm gonna sue you, the Bears, the NFL. You better get your mouth right." And reluctantly, Ditka had no other choice but to put him back in the game. The fact that you would even think about something like that,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong. Don't get me started on the fact that
premier players in the game. Yes.
Look, but that's why a lot of them bolted.
Yeah.
Because they got tired of Dicka's crap.
Right.
And the fact that right to this day, and it pains me that Walter Payton did not score in the Super Bowl when they won. That made no sense to me whatsoever.
William Perry did though.
Yeah, but come on. But you ain't Walter Payton.
Did you hear what I said?
You ain't Walter Payton. Come on, man.
Did you hear what I said? Yeah, you notice I put my head off to the side.
William
Refrigerator Perry did though.
Yeah. All right, okay, Frigidator.
Yeah,
okay, I got you. I see you. But still, you were the man who held the team, glued for years.
Right, Sweetness. Yep,
man.
A man named Sweetness. Hey man, shout out to Donald Green all the way over in Phoenix, Arizona, tuning in, checking us out today. He just gave us a shout out. We shouting him back. Man, I can talk sports history for a while, but I want to leave enough time to talk about what we do each and every Thursday, because we've got something that I think is extremely special. Let me see, can I find it here? Is that it? There it is. I found it. And it's called Street News Now. And we have a show that we do each and every Thursday on Facebook and YouTube Live with our other brothers in broadcasting, Mr. Lee Michaels, Mr. Reggie Miles, the Boom Shakalaka, and myself, and man, we have a wonderful time on the air. And if you have not tuned in to check us out on Thursday, you are missing a wonderful time because none of us got no sense. Okay, I mean,
so true.
None of us. Okay, we started this escapade with election coverage. Okay, when the election started that night, and we carried it on, and it was just like such a wonderful chemistry that it has now blossomed into a weekly event. And Chris has, as you can see, I have underneath his name his broadcast name when he's on Thursday with us. The Boom Shakalaka,
Thank you very much. It's well received.
Yes, and the Professor Reggie Miles, and then the legend Mr. Lee Michaels. And I tell you, man, we have a wonderful time. So tell us some of your experiences with this, Chris.
Well, you know me. I call it like I said. It was your idea. It was Dr. Ron's idea. To bring us together. So I remember Ron had the idea of bringing at the time Lee, Michaels, him and myself together as the three of us. And then Reggie's name came into contention, and so became the four of us. And knowing each one of these gentlemen in my life in the various time zones, I'm trying to, because usually in my head, I try to hear the show in my head. And once again, all of us really deserve a monogram straitjacket. To be completely transparent with everybody out there, but but it's in my head it sounded good. So I figured, okay, let's give it a shot. So as Dr. Ron just said, we did the election coverage, and once again, off to the race. I think everybody respects each other. I respect and love all three gentlemen, and having known them, I'm like, okay, let's galvanize and keep it moving, and we did. And so to change that and move it into a weekly program, it's like a no-brainer to me. And it was taken from there as we continue to learn from each other, to craft the show, to I would say pretty much more streamlined as we go along in the hour that we're on, because we're on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central with the four of us. And again, I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm hearing. I'm a team player. I like to be a part of a team. Obviously, Lee is our coach and quarterback. Back in the day, the great Bill Russell from the Boston Celtics was a player coach. And that's how I see Lee, as a player coach. So, he's in there and guiding us and guiding the program. And I'm just honored to be a part of what I nicknamed the Four Horsemen. We're going to get a name for the show down the road, but I nicknamed us the Four Horsemen. And eventually, as we grow and evolve, we'll just get better and better.
I totally agree. And just like you say, being transparent, I have to give credit where credit is due. It is entirely Mr. Bass's fault, Mr. Boom Shakalaka's fault, that I know Reggie Miles and the legend Lee Michaels. I did not have a personal, up-close relationship with these guys until, Chris put us all together. And so, I cannot applaud him enough, for doing what he does so naturally. Thank you openly and publicly for hooking us all together. And in the dots, we all have such, historical backgrounds, and we have all been involved in so many things. And then we have all been in the same events, in the same rooms, at the same place, at the same time, and just never actually got a chance to say, hey, how you doing? But now we way past that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I had a conversation with you before on the phone that, for example, like in chronological order for me, I met Reggie first at WKKC, then I met Lee, then I met you. So I remember, for example, talking to all three of you, and it's like the same conversation. Not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm like, y'all know the same Mother Hubbards, because y'all would bring up, different people, different names and times. I'm like, well, that's their time zone. I mean, you're 10 years older than I am. And I'm like, that's their, and once again, I started to name names. I don't even know these people. So again, it's like the connection between the three of you. I'm like, okay, you need to meet so-and-so. That's when I connected you, of course, with Reggie, to before that with Lee, because, and I remember that conversation about you afterwards. Once again, same time zone, in the same room, didn't know each other. And that always fascinates me because you have so much history in the same time, and then when you actually meet, you have a lot to really reminisce about.
Right, reminisce. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Shout out to Miss Angelique Johnson, Miss Black Diamond, listening in on us this afternoon. Glad to see you on the chat there. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for topping in. But yes, this whole conglomerate has come together, and it has taken on a life of its own. And I tell you, we had our first call-in interview on last week. Totally outrageous, and it's a little teaser here. I'm going to be bringing that guest on my show eventually sometime soon, because Chris had introduced us to this guy, and he has his claim to fame is being a black Republican, which is nothing wrong. Okay, because Republicans can be nice people, but this guy was talking like, yes, I'm a black Republican because I like the way Donald Trump pardons all of his friends. I'm like, okay, when can I get this guy on my show?
Yeah, I recall that, and and let me say this up front about Walter. You've referred to my good brother Walter Cannon.
Okay.
Walter Cannon is a fellow instructor that I met at Illinois Media School when I first began last year. And I have to honestly say that right to this day, he's one of my best friends, my best brothers. I appreciate him a lot. We go at it, we spar, but I learn because, there's nothing wrong, once again, having a difference of opinion. But again, I'm going to challenge you on it. And he challenges me. And I think that's healthy when you get a chance to meet someone with different opposing view from you, but at the end you're still friends. You still, give the bro hug and everything else, or do the elbow nowadays because of COVID and things of that nature. But again, I appreciate his fervor and his passion for what he believes in. I respect that. So when we were talking one time on the show, the four of us, about black conservatives, like, hell, I know one,
right?
And then we were able to bring him on the show, and I'm glad you have him on your show to do a one-on-one because I didn't want to feel like it was 3 against 1. Because even though he joked about it later on the phone,
right.
like, hey, like Lee said, hey, base can't help you now. You're on your own, man. So, but no, he got a kick out of it. He really loved it. He really appreciated being on with us, and so I appreciate you having him. Because now I get a chance to do like a solid one-on-one. I'm looking forward to seeing you two, go at it because it's gonna be great. It's gonna be
hilarious. Okay. Because I'm not gonna hold my tongue. You already know that.
And neither will he. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm excited about that because I really want to hear some of his interests, and some of the things that he would want to say positively, because I know talking about Trump pardoning his criminal friends is not a good selling point, to represent the Republican Party and its leader right now, President number 45. So I'm sure he got some other things that he can say positively, and I'm looking forward to
absolutely.
that. Yeah,
But for him, that's positive because of the supporting your crony system. Now, once again, we may not agree with it, but he's in favor of looking after your own all the way from beginning, middle, and end, from the rooter to the tutor type mentality. It's like, we go ride or die. Okay. So again, I know how he thinks that perspective, but it's one of those things where you're able to listen to somebody. You may agree, may disagree. Like I said before, please let me know when that's going to be on, man. I'm gonna give some popcorn for that one, Doctor.
I'm gonna let everybody know. All right, look, we got to get out of here in about 3 minutes, so we're gonna do a recap of everything. Street News Now, Facebook and YouTube Live each and every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. My good brother in broadcasting, the Boom Shakalaka, the legend, Mr. Lee Michaels, and our other good brother in broadcasting, Professor Reggie Miles. That's each and every Thursday. We also have my brothers doing his thing every Wednesday and every Friday on Facebook Live. Mr. Boom Shakalaka doing his thing. You all go find him. If you don't know where he's at, support him. We all support one another. And I like to emphasize that even more so because, they say black people can't get along, okay? They say people of color don't like one another. They don't do, they don't do what they supposed to do in order to be able to fellowship and get along with each other, And look, we all are accomplished hosts and entertainers and been doing this I've been doing it for 45 years. Lee been doing it for probably 70 because he is 70. Chris been doing it. How long, Chris?
Man, about 27 going on 30, rounded off.
30 years, okay? And the professor's been doing this, 40 plus years, okay? Probably 50 years. So, we can get along, and we do get along, and we do support one another. We all have love one to another. I don't hate what Chris does. I support what Chris does, and vice versa, And we like to show you all the face of what it looks like to all get along. And that's what we're trying to do, And I love what Dr. Katrina Sanders just said. She's applauding us. She's saying, hey, my dearest friend, brothers, love listening to you all. Okay, thank you, Dr. Katrina Sanders. We appreciate you, tuning in, following us, and being with us. We got to get out of here. I'm going to invite everybody to go over to ask-dr-ron. Please fill out contact card. Check out the things that are on the website, you know, my YouTube channel, support my vendors, like and share. Check out Cash Crowdfund. Look, we are doing all that we can to keep you all informed on what we're doing and where we can be found at. And we're right at the time to get out of here. Chris, you want to have the final say-so, and then we're going to go home, brother.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me back onto your program. I leave with everybody's same mantra I have every night on my 4 p.m. program on Baseline. I want everybody to be safe, to be sound, to be healthy, and most importantly, be loved.
Amen. Peace and love, y'all. See y'all on Thursday. Don't forget Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Peace and love, y'all.